So I've been maybe a little too excited for this unboxing, and that's because during my recent GMT hunt, where I've been trying to find the best affordable GMT watches, I've been struggling to find any really affordable GMT watches that weren't just homages or rip-offs of luxury watches with a GMT function shoehorned in. And especially quartz options. There's basically nothing out there. Now, if you've got any suggestions, please leave them in the comments, because I need some extra pointers of where to look, ideally for original design GMTs. But from what I could find, this is definitely the best looking option and the one I've got the most hope for, and that is a Timex. The Q Timex GMT. Man, that I can tell straight through the plastic. This watch looks awesome. I don't know whether it's just in this colorway. I've tried the quartz version before, and the quartz version was okay, but this looks like a much higher quality watch, even if it isn't a great deal different. I'll affiliate link this watch in the video description if you want to check it out for yourself. But this is one of the most affordable GMT style watches out there. And man, Timex has done a phenomenal job with this. It's so nice and thin too. Really nice and thin. That dial looks spectacular. So I bought this one with my own money on Amazon, and they're not super cheap. It's definitely not as cheap as other Timexes, but this color looks fantastic. Got the smooth GMT bezel on there, so you can get perfect alignment. And it's probably only acrylic on the top too, so expect that to scratch up. But man, that is a hell of a good looking watch. This is, of course, in that kind of Batman style colorway with the black and blue. It just looks so sleek. It looks so slim. And the bracelet also looks better too. So the bracelet on the previous watch was definitely a bit of a pain point for a lot of people. And while I didn't hate it, my view at the time was, you know, anything's better than a Casio bracelet. But it did have a habit of nipping hairs, whereas this is surely going to nip fewer. Now, whether these are actually solid links remains to be seen, because we've seen brands like Seiko pull in a fast one recently, where the links looked solid like this, but were actually a type of folded link. But either way, this is still going to be much better on the wrist than the previous bracelet, no doubt. Man, that looks awesome. Very excited to get that on the wrist. A stainless steel case. How much water resistance have we got here? It can't be a ton. Yeah, only about 50 meters, which isn't as impressive as it sounds if you know anything about water resistance. Let's check the sizing on this. I want to see if this is actually thinner, because it looks thinner. 38 on the dot wide, and oh no, the bezel is a fraction smaller, 37.7. Lug to lug, very short, 44.4, and thickness with the crystal, 12.3. Without it, 8.6. So yeah, very thin. Did I get lucky with the alignment? Not quite, no. It's not bob on. It's not bad. As you can see, okay, it's hitting the markers there at the bottom. But it's, I noticed when it was up at the top corner here, it wasn't hitting the markers. But either way, that's not too bad for a Timex. And I've just put that up to my ear off camera, and it's thankfully not as loud as some of the other Timexes I've worn recently too. So that's always handy. Now here is a quick look at this watch on the wrist. I think that looks killer. I think this really it's one of the best looking watches of the year that I've tried, no doubt. And I know this one came out a while ago, but I've been quite keen to try it. More keen since I ran out of options. And wow, that is very impressive. Definitely recommend at least having a look at this. I think, you know what it is? I think the biggest difference between this one and the other one, not only is obviously the bracelet, but simply the way that the markers are applied on this one. It makes the watch look so much better under different lighting conditions, whereas the last one looked a little bit flat, and also there was a bit of an odd contrast between the dial and bezel colors on the other one, whereas this one just looks spot on. I know some people have been a little bit frustrated by the kind of fake Mercedes hand that they put on these. I think previous versions had a T, whereas now it's just a dot. Although the dot does seem to be almost identically proportioned to the markers, which is a little Easter egg there. But let's see if it has any lume that's worth talking about. I can't say Timex watches are known for their low light performance, but maybe we'll be wrong. Oh, so it looks like the hands have different lume than the markers. Oh, but now they're green again. So yeah, the lume is a bit subpar. It's like a typical 3 or 4 out of 10, and that has faded rather quickly indeed. So don't expect to be able to see the time super well in low light. It's something, but yeah, certainly won't be winning any awards. But I'm just thankful that my first impressions of this one were a little bit misguided. I thought this might just be a cash grab where they shoehorned a GMT into an existing watch. But no, this is definitely, feels like the Q Timex in its final form. So yeah, I'll link it down below. I'd definitely recommend giving this one a shot. Might not be the best spec-wise, but it looks awesome.